And I will ask some questions about sterilization and your role in a shelter.
Okay.
What is precisely the veterinary's role in a shelter?
I would say it's not all of that precise, but mainly the same thing we would do in a clinic. So it's to do the exams of the animals that come in the shelter when they have concern about their health. Of course, the vaccination and sterilization. Sterilize them.
Yeah, but what is it? What is the procedure of sterilization?
So basically what we do is for males we remove completely the testicles, and for a female we will surgically remove ovary and the whole uterus.
In a shelter, what's the importance of sterilization?
Well, the important thing for us is two main things, and the main one is the control of the populations, mostly for cats. Because we do have too many cats on the streets, and the more babies there are out there, even if we get them adopted on Kijiji and all, there's too many of them, and some won't have families and will just end up in the streets or in non-ideal living conditions. And so we do want to reduce the amount of babies that are going to get born every year. For dogs also, because there is also a lot of dogs that are out without families, and the shelters are overflowed with dogs also. So we do want to reduce the numbers of puppies that are born just for the fun of the experience, for the family and all, because overall afterwards they gotta find families, and it's not always as obvious as we would think at first sight.
But does health change in any way, as good or as bad?
For the bad changes in health, no, we don't really see anyone. Some people tend to think that they will put on weight, but it's also because we do sterilization when they kind of stop their growing curve. So we do have to, anyway, at that phase of life, around 6, 7, 8 months, reduce a little bit the amounts of food that we give. They're not teenagers anymore, and they need a little less nutrition. And if we don't do those adjustments, they will put on weight. But for health benefits, we do have quite a little more on the female side, because females that are non-sterilized have a very higher risk of getting breast cancer when they get older. And with sterilization, we will reduce that risk. If it's done before the first risk, it's only a 1% risk. For sterilized female versus the non-sterilized female. Also, older females that are non-sterilized can have uterine infections, and that is an emergency surgery procedure that is expensive and that is very bad for the animal's health. They get very sick from it. And when they're sterilized, we don't see that problem at all. So there's a high benefit on that side. And for males, it's infections of the penis and all will be very lowered in sterilized males. And also prostate problems getting older can still happen, but they're lesser in the sterilized male. A lot of people are worried that male dogs won't get as big or grow as tall as they would if they're not sterilized. Again, we base ourselves on studies, and they don't seem to show that much of a difference. The difference we will see is that non-sterilized male, when they get older, they get a little more muscular, but size, the tall. The height and all will stay pretty much the same, but they won't get the big male full of testosterone physique. But that's not really what we want with our pets anyway.
And that question that people always want to know, and that is almost the question that is about if we decide to sterilize a pet or not, how much does it cost?
I can't say, and prices vary, but for a male cat, it's going to be somewhere around $100. For a female cat, it's more around $150, because we do have to go inside the abdomen, so it's a bit of a longer procedures. And for dogs, well, it's very variable, because we have Chihuahuas and we have Great Danes, and so it's all depending on the weight. But the best thing to do is just call your vet clinic, ask for the information, and you can make your decision based on that.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's over for me. So, yeah, that was nice.
Well, thank you very much and have a good end of the year.
Thank you. You too.